Hello and welcome back to another Corepunk episode. Today we're going to talk about the news they just released. And trust me, you want to hear this because they have a lot of juicy things this time. Alpha 2, passive talents, and early access. See, early access is the golden word we have all been waiting for. In this letter, we want to talk about the upcoming test at the end of May, and our plans going forward. Naturally, all of this is related to game design. But early access, that's the one we're waiting for. And by the way, you can actually see in the picture here that we do have some talent points, which is interesting. So let's get into it. Hello everyone. In this letter, we want to talk about the upcoming test at the end of May and our plans going forward. Naturally, all this is related to game design. First, we want to mention that we messed up with the video. We picked up a great pace and we're working diligently, but unfortunately we simply ran out of time for the video. However, there are two pieces of good news. In just over 2 weeks, you will be able to test everything yourself. And we're also presenting all the passive talents of each archetype in this update. So you can familiarize yourself with the upcoming mechanics and possibly leave your feedback and suggestions in the comments to this post. Now, let's get to the heart of the post. Over the last few months, we've been working hard on delivering various progression systems, including in-game content, 2 of which we'll present at the upcoming test. See, this is interesting. In-game content and 2 of them. This is something because the last test didn't have any in-game content wise. So what kind of in-game can we be getting now? Very interesting. Maybe some kind of like randomized dungeon, maybe a dungeon, maybe battlegrounds. We don't know. It could be literally anything. 8 branches of passive talents and 6 branches of weapon specialization upgrades. Passive talents can be upgraded using passive talent points, which will be given 1 per level starting from the 5th level. Weapon specializations will need to be charged with energy from consumables, which players can earn from quests to find in the worlds as loot. We aim to showcase these at the end of next week. In this test, players will be able to level up to 15 and will be able to combine any 2 branches. The ability to combine 3 branches will be unlocked in early access. So basically we're going to be getting 8 passive talent points, like imagine 8 different talent points, like literally different talents. I will show you, like if we just mark this, if we go to the bottom here, you can see this. You can take the warrior, you can take the assassin, the support, medic, mage, tank, hunter, pathfinder. So basically these talent specs, maybe that's the better word, talent specs is what you can pick 2 of in this test. That looked wrong. There we go. So basically in this test you will be able to pick 2 of them in level 15. But as they explain longer down, we will actually in the early access we'll be able to, well, they actually said here, combine 3 branches will be unlocked in early access. We want players to play around with different talent combinations, look for broken, fun builds, and experience what the combat feels like with these systems in place. We are also working hard on the world itself. For this test we decided not to extend it, but to make it much more dense, packed with new settlements, NPCs, and points of interest to explore. We are working on balancing, and although the main adjustments will be made after the test before early access, we will mention some of that will include in this test. Food regeneration has been significantly enhanced, and now players can regenerate effectively with food without campfire. that's a nice thing. And something, for example, No Rest for the Wicked has done for me is it has really shown me that you actually don't need a passive regeneration, which I normally would say this game need. But it has shown me that food can actually be really good if it's easy to get and it's strong. So we'll see how the next playtest of this game is gonna work. While consuming food at a campfire will provide a bonus to food regeneration and buffs if the food has any. We feel the system has become more tactile and logical to use. We'll be waiting for your feedback on that. We will revamp crafting, but we will not release a more advanced version of crafting and itemization to the test. It will enter early access, however significant numbers of new items will be added to the test, including 5 very cool weapons for each hero. The logic of profession bonuses and efficiency system will be revised at this test. In short, the main change is that the profession bonus will no longer be tied to the profession, but will be universal capabilities for all. That is, every player regardless profession will have the ability to apply free alchemy buffs and free mystic runes. Oh, okay. Also, we want to see PvP activity of players at this test, how the world with new points of interest with loot will be perceived, and whether the contest of interesting points will be balanced and fair. This is a rough focus of what we hope players will enjoy and have fun during the test. Let's move on to our plans and small roadmap for the near future. If the May test is successfully, by which we mean that people have fun and enjoy the game, our next step will be early access. That's the one we're interested in, because normally early access means that the game is releasing in early access, like soft launch, which means no more wipes. I'm pretty sure early access means that you don't get your character destroyed anymore, you don't have to restart. Your character stays in the game because it's early access, kind of like, you know what I mean. Technically and content wise, we will be ready for early access about 2 months after the May test, considering that we are now delivering several key and in-game progression systems for testing, and you will provide us with feedback for adjustments. We will have time and resources to focus on other tasks necessary for early access, many of which are almost ready. Now let's talk about early access as a roadmap. First is localization. We want as many people around the world as possible to try Corepunk, but our capabilities have always been limited, and we could only afford English localization for objective market reason before release. So to make Corepunk more accessible while we're still developing it, it will enable auto-generate localization of text and voiceovers. Our voice generation provides support up to 26 languages. Oh, okay. Oh. So they're gonna use this Elven Labs thing, which automatically translate language. So that means when people are gonna play from another language, it might have some weird, things in it. Next, we'll improve the localization to a high standard step by step for each language. I feel like that's fine, that's fine. If people are unhappy with having a weird, let's say, German translation, well, they gotta go back to English and, get the original one. But it's at least they support some kind of like AI, not AI translated, but this, whatever this is. Okay, good, yeah. The maximum level for characters in early access will be level 20. Level 20 will be the end-game content throughout early access until the full release. There will also be opportunity to upgrade and combine 3 branches of passive talents. Crafting of new types of items and overall itemization will be expanded in terms of possibilities and combinations of significantly. For example, the full functionality of synthesis machine will be implemented, which will balance randomness of itemization and add a huge number of variations and combinations of crafting. Early access will receive 2 new large settlements with the new biomes and NPCs inhabiting them. All new locations will be level 20. All new location will be level 20 locations. So that be basically right now we have one localization, one biome, which is forest. What they're saying here is they're probably going to be adding, you know, like maybe like a snow zone and a desert zone. So we get two new biomes and also 2 new localizations, which is going to be level 20 only. So the first zone we only get is going to be the one where you level from 1 to 20. And the most pleasant bonus, there will be mounts on the early access and much more. Oh, that does sound interesting. That sounds very, very interesting. Overall, to summarize, we work actively and a lot with great pleasure. The team is very motivated because we are now at the stage of production when there is an opportunity for interaction with the community through tests. Everyone can see their work by watching how people play. This is our magic, and with each test, the desire to do more and show more grows. Desire to do more and show more grows, to entertain community with content, demonstrate our creativity and receive feedback on it becomes better. Friends, thank you for reading. Thank you for reading us, watching, and being interested. Thank you for your trust. Your Corepunk team. Okay, so basically this means we are getting, we're still getting another test in end of this month. We are getting early access. We're getting early access. What did they say? Like 2 months after. They said 2 months after, which is probably August or something like that. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty. So we get a test now. We get early access later. We have talent trees, new crafting, in-game. That's gonna be so much. And we're not even done, because now they are showing off all the talent trees. So basically here you have the first, so you can have 3 talent trees active on a level 20 character, but in the test we're gonna get soon, you can only have 2 at level 15. So basically you have one here called Warrior, which passively gives you 5% damage, and then you have all these things you can choose down here. Remember, you can only have 1 for each row. So you have to pick between one of these 3, one of these 3, one of these. It kind of reminds of the talent system they had in World of Warcraft back in, was it back in Shadowlands? Before Dragonflight, where they did this very big confusing talent tree, but where you also only had like 3 rows. Like row. So, and then we have Assassin, which increased 5% physical magic crit chance. And then of course all the things you can get from it. We got Support, which gives 5% movement speed, and then of course all the things you get from it. Medic, 10% heal and shield power, and then again all the different talents you can get from it. If you really want to go through each of these and see these, go to this new article here, and you can go in and read each of them. I mean, if I have to read each of them, this video is going to be 31 hour long, so we're just going to look at the highlights. Then we have Mage, 10% more maximum mana, and again, different stuff inside. And then you got Tank, which is increasing maximum health by 10%. And then again, of course, more stuff in here. And a Hunter, which gives 10% attack speed. That's pretty cool. And Pathfinder, 2% health restoration every 5 seconds when no allies around. Okay, so that's like a really like lone wolf, like, build. That's cool. I like this one here. I like the passive health regeneration, and this one here, when there are no allied characters nearby, the character gains 5% increased damage. That is pretty cool. Solo Survivor Hunger. When there are no allies nearby and the character's health drops below 80, 50, 20, they gain 3, 6, 9 Vampirism. Cool. So yeah, we got all these different talent trees. Very, very nice. I like that. I'm gonna be going through them after this. And look at them. I also know there's a website called Corepunk where they actually already have made a talent calculator where you can go in and actually click around and select the talents you want. I mean, I guess it was easy to make because you literally got all the pictures here and you know you get everything handed here. But of course they had to crop out all the pictures, take out all the text, you know, there's a lot of work for them. So kudos to they actually did that. That's so cool. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. This was the newest and latest news we got from Corepunk. Remember, there is a new test coming end of this month. I will, of course, be streaming it on twitch.tv/Dvalin, Dvalin, and on YouTube. So I'll be streaming on YouTube and also on Twitch. You can choose whichever platform you want to look at. But I'll be streaming this game end of this month when we get the next test, and then of course when early access releases, you can probably expect me to be playing this game quite a lot, since I've been quite interested in this game. I already have like 130 videos about this game, and it's not even out. You can't even play it, so yeah, it probably says something. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the end of the month when we actually get the playtest. Gonna be fun. Peace out. Bye.